So, suppose that in the 2026 QAMT Problem Solving Competition, you come across this problem. What can you do? So, Agnes writes the numbers 1 up to n, the consecutive integers, on a whiteboard. Barbara erases one of them, and the average of the remaining numbers is 152 over 7. Which number did Barbara erase? Okay, we're given the average, but we have no idea what n is going to be, right? So this is the average. Are we able to bound it in any sort of way? If we erase one number on the whiteboard, what is the minimum? What is the minimum average that we can get? Suppose that n is fixed. We need to erase one number to make the average of the remaining numbers as small as possible. So the minimum average is just if we erase the biggest number on the board, n. So the average of 1 up to n minus 1. And since the average of consecutive integers, that's just going to be half times the first number plus the second number, half times 1 plus n minus 1. So that's just n over 2, right? What is the maximum average of the remaining numbers? Well, can't spell. The maximum average, if we erase the number 1, that's going to give us the maximum average. So it's the maximum average of 2, 3, all the way up to n. And that is half of 2 plus n, which I'm going to call n plus 2 over 2. Okay, what can we say? Now, this inequality we know is true. So if I multiply both sides by 2, I get that. Now, 304 divided by 7. What is this? 7 times 40 is 280. 7 times 43 is 304. Sorry, this is going to be 2n. This is n plus 2, this is n. So 304 divided by 7, what is it going to be? That's 43 point something, right? Don't really need to care what it is. So 43 point something lies between n and n plus 2. So, therefore, I can conclude n could equal to 41. 41, that's not possible. N equals 42 or 43. If n is 41, n plus 2 is 43, which is less than 304 over 7. Now, the average of the remaining numbers is 152 over 7. So what is the sum of the remaining numbers? Well, the sum of the remaining numbers is just the total number of remaining numbers times the average. There are n numbers originally, we erased 1, so that means there are n minus 1 numbers left, and the average is 152 over 7. So that is the sum of the remaining numbers. And because all of these numbers are integers, this has to be an integer. Okay. This being an integer, what does that mean? We've got a 7 on the denominator. 152, that's not divisible by 7. So that means that n minus 1 is divisible by 7. Otherwise, this sum is not going to be an integer. And n is either 42 or 43. Only n equals 43 satisfies n minus 1 divisible by 7. So we can conclude n is equal to 43. So that the total number before erasing, so the total sum of the numbers before Barbara erase everything, that is just 1 plus 2 all the way up to 43. And we have a formula for that. That's just 1 plus 43 on 2 times 43. What is that? 44 on 2 is 22. 22 times 43. What is that going to be? Is that 946? Okay. And the total sum after erasing? Well, we know that because the average is 152 over 7, and there's n minus 1 numbers left. So n minus 1 is 42. That's how many numbers are left, times 152 over 7. 42 divided by 7 is 6, so that's 6 times 152, which happens to be, what is it? 6 times 152, is that 912? Yes? So the total sum before erasing is 946, and the total sum after Barbara erased one of the numbers, you get 912. So which number did Barbara erase? Well, you just subtract 946 minus 912, and you're going to get 34 as your final answer. And we are done.